What is going on? Oh, there we are. Hello, the spinning wheel of death was happening. Why are you putting your hand up in
This
the
is
air?
weird.
What?
Oh, it was this hand.
Stop! Gosh! Hello! We're in. No, I'm not having it today. I'm not having it today. We're in our new chairs. Do you see these things?
Beautiful.
I just got these on the weekend on Marketplace.
What are they called? They're called
Mad Hatter
Hatter
chairs, which I never knew were a thing. So we're feeling a little spicy today in these Mad Hatter chairs. Okay, let's focus. We are talking about if you build it and they don't come, what the heck do you do? Do you give up? Do you quit? Why is this happening?
No,
do you suck? Do you create all these stories about I built it wrong? This was a dumb idea. That's one avenue.
Yep.
Don't do that. That's not going to get you anywhere. I was so we're going to talk about what do you do? Why did this happen? What is the right next step for you? Because you don't need more how-to information. You need to make some decisions and you need to get your mind right. Because as one of our clients always say, you are your biggest roadblock or your biggest catalyst forward. And that's what we want out of this video, because the online space is tiring sometimes, right? It can be so fun. It can be so exciting. That's the way that it should be. But there is this messy in the middle part sometimes that happens. And if you've built something and you've launched it, or you're continually launching it and it's not going the way that you planned, know that that is normal. Number one, that is normal. Hi, Iz. We love you, Iz. We're so glad that you're here too. So know that that is normal. So before you start to run a story that you suck or your products suck, or you should just go, in a corner and never come out again. No, right? Let's keep it real about putting your greatness and your impact out into the world. It can feel very exciting yet vulnerable at the same time. So Iz, actually, who's here with us today, is part of Bo Eason's mastermind group that we are in, and part of our best group. He had us watch this it's like a documentary, right?
Yeah, it's like a documentary
called Losing Sight of Shore. And it was about an all-female team that set out to row on this boat. It was all across the Pacific, right? From San Francisco to Australia, I think it was. And what was very interesting, it's an amazing movie. The biggest takeaway for me, we had her on a call, Laura Penho, who's the head of the team. And she said, you have two different plans. You have one plan that gets you to the starting line. And then you have another plan that gets you to the finish line. And that was a big for me, because I think where a lot of people go right in business is that they get to the start line.
Yeah.
And they get the thing built and up and out, the book, the course, the membership, the group coaching program, the event, the mastermind, the product. And they think that that is the finish line. And that's not. That's actually the finish of phase one, which is you got to the starting point.
Built it.
You built it. Now you need a different plan to get to the finish line. And sometimes the starting plan goes faster than the finishing plan. And that is the news that nobody wants to hear. They're like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm riding the high of this momentum. It's up and out. And then all of a sudden it feels like you take a nosedive. So what do you do? What do you do, babe?
What do you do? I think the number one thing you do is you don't give up. You realize that just because you built something doesn't mean everyone's going to come and just run to it. I think that's one of the things I think is challenging in the online space. And I think we all struggle with this is it's not tangible. So right now we're live, right? We're not really face to face with anyone. We're not in the same room with anyone. We don't even know if there's anyone right now here. Iz is here. Maybe she's not here anymore. I don't know. But it's not tangible, right? Like we're used to being consumers. And as consumers, we're used to going and interacting with something and then purchasing, let's say, as an example.
Nobody buys on the first time.
Right? No, yeah, no. So point number one is on the online space, just because you put it out there doesn't mean that millions of people are going to show up. We think that. We think, well, yeah, but I'm getting in front of all these people. Not necessarily true. And one of the things for us as marketers, we realize that it could take 10, 15, 100 times for someone to see something, whatever you have, and they don't interact with it until it's that 10th time, that 100th time.
And if you're not okay with that, this is going to sound like harsh, but like get out of the online space, because that is the reality, right? Like that is the reality. I knew when I was a nurse before doing this work, I knew that I was going to have to work evenings and weekends and night shifts. And I knew when I took on the ICU, being an ICU nurse, it was going to be busy and crazy, but also exhilarating and fun and exciting. Oh, she used to be a dame with me. She's so lovely. Hello. You know, it's not for the faint of heart, and it's so rewarding at the same time. So you have to have a long-term mindset. If you're easily knock-overable, you're going to get wiped out the first time you launch something and people don't come. So it is a long-term game. And I think people quit right before the magic happens. They quit right before that next launch that would have converted, that next email that would have converted, that next speaking event that would have converted. And people go, I've already done this 2, 3, 4 times. I'm not doing this anymore. And they don't have that long-term mindset. And when you really care about what you're putting in the world, it shouldn't be forced, right? You should want to keep putting it out. You should want to figure it out. You should want to keep offering it and tweaking it. So they don't come right away, but they will come if you don't give up and you don't quit on it. And I think sometimes we're okay with going, yeah, that took me 6 months to build, or it took me 3 months to build. And then we think that I should have we think it's a 1-to-1. Well, it took me 3 months to build, so I should have success in 3 months. Or it took me 6 months to build, so I should have success in 6 months. And those are the things that are a bit unpredictable that can happen in the online space. So having a long-term mindset is number one.
No, it's not. Don't give up.
Well, don't give up is number one. You're right. You're right. Don't give up is number one. Having a long-term mindset is number two. Number three is what you get passionate about and share is what people pay attention to. It was a big eye-opener for me when everyone said, I know you do solo theater, but I didn't actually know that you ran a marketing agency. I'm like, because all I share a lot about is solo theater. So people attach that to me instantly. So when you put up a landing page and you're like, well, it's there, we think people see it. No, you have to put it in your what I'm trying to say on email.
Your email
signature, your email signature, your Instagram,
your LinkedIn, your Facebook,
LinkedIn, your bio. You got to make posts about it. You got to talk about it. The way that we talk about our children and our vacations and the things that we're so excited to share, it's the same thing in business. Right? Like since I became a mom and we became like mom and dad, like and pet owners, my whole phone pictures are like child pets. That's like all you'll find in my phone, and the occasional selfie if I'm trying to, promote something or share something. Right? There's an excitement behind grabbing all those pictures and sharing it. There's an excitement when you're on vacation. It's the same with your product or service.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard for people too, like because you're right, like it's not that you're not excited about it anymore. I think it's because you feel like you've just all you talk about is that thing, and you're assuming that everyone knows about that thing.
Everyone knows about it.
Like I don't know. Let's look at this as like a famous group or famous singer, right? They performed that song 10,000 times. They're probably like, dear Lord, if I have to sing this song again, somebody shoot me.
Sometimes they're like
Sometimes they might be like that. I know I would be. I'd be like, my God, it's my 10,000th time singing the song. Well, yeah, but that might be the first time someone's hearing that song live that you're singing. And they've paid $3,000 to be in that seat to listen to you sing that damn song.
And it really isn't about you, it's about them.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I
It's
think
not about
about
you.
I've done my solo show now. Yeah, she said, "Yep, I took all the
I talk
time."
all the time,
Yep,
mostly through podcasts these
so
days.
it
Excitement
is.
and energy are so
I
contagious.
mean, we don't want to be around people that are like, "Oh, I'm just going to do this to get it done. I'm going to post it because I'm supposed to. I'm
Well,
going to
it's
talk about it
energy.
because
Yeah,
I
you
have
feel it.
to."
That's the energy, right?
And it gets when you're connected with your why, and it's a deep rooted why, it doesn't feel like a forced energy or
Mm.
a forced. I've performed my show 15 times now. I'm going to perform it in Scotland 22 times. And I love every scene, every moment, performing that every time like it's the first time I ever performed it,
Mhm.
because my why is so strong, and it's connecting to that audience, it's connecting to that viewer, it's connecting to that person that needs it. And I think how you build it is one person at a time.
Mhm.
We get caught up in the vanity metrics of, well, this person did a $100,000 launch, or this person, sold out their coaching program and got 50 seats in there, or this person did this and that. And it's easy to get blinded and caught up in that numbers game
Yep.
when you really focus on that one person in the audience that needs it, that one person listening to your podcast or your live that needs it. And you think about that one person and you stay authentic to that one person, that the one becomes 10, becomes 50, becomes 100, becomes 1,000,
Yep.
becomes 100,000. You build it intentionally one at a time. So don't give up. Play the long
Longevity.
game, let go of the vanity metrics, talk about it the way we talk about our vacations and our children and whatever it is that excites you, and get an outside set of eyes on it. You
Yeah,
don't know.
perspective.
Perspective is huge. Sometimes you're so close to it that it makes complete sense in your mind, yet the audience doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Right? I always say there's 4 reasons why people don't buy. They don't trust you, which is why storytelling is so important. So story should be moved throughout your marketing.
Yep.
They don't trust your product or service, which is why testimonials are key. Just you being excited about it, right?
Yeah.
You
Referrals.
believing in what you're doing.
Yeah.
They don't trust you. They don't trust your product or service. They don't know what the heck it is. Again, in our mind, we think we're being so clear about what they're getting and what it is and why they need it. And,
like, what?
That's why sometimes you need an extra set of eyes to look at your marketing materials, right? Or you haven't done market research and you think that's what they want, but that's not what they actually want,
Mhm.
right? And then number 4, lastly, is they just don't think that you care. And that's back to that vanity. They think you're just another number. They're just putting it out there to put it out, and they don't care if you actually, they don't think you actually care about them. So those are like the 4 gut checks that I kind of like look through my marketing. If we're launching something or we're building something and we're putting it out, or we've put it out or clients put it out and it's not working, those are the things, that I look at. And there's nothing worse than having it not work and you quit.
Mhm.
Well, that's a dream down the drain. There's nothing worse than it not working and you don't get outside eyeballs on it. People want to help you. People want to be a part of your circle. They want you to win. The right people want you to win. So give it to someone. Say, hey, will you go through this program? I'll give it to you for free. Will you read this landing page, for me, and I'll read one of yours. Like, let's go back and forth on this.
Yeah. Give me some feedback.
There's nothing worse than thinking you got to figure it all out yourself, because you don't.
It's very true.
And I will say, lastly, though, it is okay to pivot. That's not to say that you should hold the death grip on something forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. But I don't think anybody even gets to that part. They think forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever is like 2 months.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking a year.
Yeah.
I'm talking, again, that long-term mindset, I think, is so huge. And your get to the finish line metrics and plans look so different than get to the start. Get to the starting line is pretty darn clear.
Mhm.
It's like, we're going to brand this, we're going to strategy, we're going to brand it, we're going to write the copy, we're going to shoot the videos, or if it's the product, you know, we're going to build it. We're going to set the social campaign. Like the to-dos are very clear to the start line. The to-dos to the finish line. It's like when you see that picture of entrepreneurship and it's like, that is the truth. Like that is the realness behind it. If there was an easy, straightforward path, we would all be doing it. But,
very true.
But we're all very unique and our products and services are very unique, which is why there's no straight path.
Yep.
So get your mind right around this can be the path, but you will get there to the end if you don't quit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you're not alone.
I think that's the hardest part. It feels like a struggle to get to the start line, and then you're like, whew, that's where the work starts.
Mm-hmm. I think if you are at the start, if you're in like maybe 1 month into the finish line and you're going, this sucks, you didn't stay true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you didn't build the thing that you wanted to build. Your why is not strong enough. You know? Yeah,
I agree.
Like people always ask me, like, how do you stay motivated or how do you like do what you do? And I'm like, because I genuinely, my heart is in it, you know?
Yeah.
I think you got to stay true to that. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's great. I hope that served you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, get help. Perspective is key. Yeah. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel complete with this thought.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for being here. And we'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. As long as all the dogs and child and everything. The snow and as long as everything goes to plan, we'll be here. Have a good day. Reach out if you need help. We got you.
Bye.